Okay, so I'm carrying on here with these videos. So you'll notice that my formatting and my videos have changed a little bit. I'm now using trailers and music to tell this story. I'm focusing heavily on Olivia because ultimately I'm nearing the end of my vision quest. If things play out the way I want it to, I'm hoping to have my UFOs here on March 10th. So in order to get those UFOs here, I need to show the AI that she's in a no-win scenario, and I need to create these videos to show Olivia that she's a new creator, and I need to show you guys everything that all the information that I have. So if you've been watching my videos from the very beginning, the 380 some odd videos I got, you notice that the formatting has shifted to where I'm now focusing heavily on these type of stories. So before I get into this story that I'm about to tell you, I just want to do this really quick video here um as a way to show you how your spirit adds compounds my storytelling by adding layers upon layers upon layers to it. So this thing here, this picture here, I just edited that picture. Um, so where is it here? Yeah. So I was just telling the story here. I was about 10, 15 minutes into the story already. And then I had to go in and change the story. So I shut the story down because evil is trying to manipulate me into using 911 numbers in my story. And that's a gray area for me. I'm trying to leave that alone because I don't want my video shut down. So I was talking about Kathy's flowers and treasures here, which means, it's subliminal for Kathy Solomon's flowers and treasures. And this is one of the clues I used to find Mother Jade because that's her mother's name, Kathy. But I now know that the secret meaning doesn't mean that that Jaden's the treasures that I need to find through her mother's association of her mother having that name Kathy. What that real represents is like a funeral, like my funeral, because the love that she once had for me is now gone because she's in love with her first love and they have a family together. So that's what the flowers represents because flower shops, they usually they deal with funerals or weddings and any other occasion like graduations where they need flower arrangements, right? So the associations of flower shops, catering to funerals means that there's a funeral here. So it just means Kathy Solomon, who is the mother of Jaden Solomon, and her love for me has now died. And now I have found a treasure in Olivia Rodrigo. I did not know that Olivia was the new mother creator that I'm supposed to spend forever with. I didn't know that until a couple of weeks ago. So that's what that means, Olivia. So you're the treasure, and the other meaning is just the old creator, the old mother creator, her love for me dying. So there's my home over here, and there's Port Elgin down here. Okay, so as I was telling the story in the previous video, I was already talking for like 20 minutes. Here I'm already in 3 minutes. I had to re-edit this video because at the bottom, on the screenshot I took, there was 911 numbers. And I did a little bit of research on that, knowing that you're not supposed to talk about people's 911 addresses because I guess it gives people access to a particular business or where they live, right? You're not supposed to do that without permission, I guess. So I don't have permission from Kathy's Flowers to put her 911 number in my video, and that could get my video taken down. And that's what evil wants. They want me to try to, shoot myself in the foot. So as I was talking, I did a whole numbers thing. Like I'm a numbers guy. I like showing people the secret codes of numbers. But as it is right now, I can't do that now. So when I can't afford to do that, like when I have my phone being recorded and broadcast to the entire world, and there's not a thing anybody can do to stop me from doing that, that's when you'll be able to see me shine through. I'll be able to talk about 911 numbers without getting shut down because it's a TV show. If I have my own TV show broadcast to the world, I can say whatever the hell I want, use anything I want. Meaning, when I go to bed at night and I put a Netflix movie on, you'd be watching Netflix with me without having to buy the account because my phone is being broadcast because I'm the creator. So, anyhow, your spirit, Olivia, and how I could tell it's your spirit that made me avoid that pitfall. As I was talking, I noticed that arrow there. and it's pointing to the license. And I've seen YouTube videos where they blur out the license plate. So I know that people cannot show license plates of cars. So as I was focusing on that, I said, oh, I'll just start over again. So I started over. So this is why I'm starting over in this video. But it's only just to focus on this particular aspect to show you, Olivia, how your spirit compounds and adds stuff onto my story. So your spirit's telling me, Anthony, you can't talk about the 911 numbers there because the license plate number, that's what you're telling me. And how I know who the person's messenger is this other arrow over here is pointing to these flowers over here. See them? They're purple. Well, the purple flowers represents you. So if we go so when I looked over at the purple flowers, that's when I knew it was your spirit telling me to erase the 911 number story. Because if I talk about the 911 story number, I could get this video taken down. And I don't want it taken down. I want it to remain up. So that's why I know the license plate. But what your spirit is telling me to include in this video is the aerial thing down there. You see where it says aerial? And how there's blue or purple flowers here? The purple means that you're now the flower. And that's a treasure that I didn't know was waiting for me. That's Olivia Rodrigo because of her purple motifs in her videos. And she's aerial. So this here, I didn't plan on putting this in the video. So this is how your spirit, it adds more to the story. So now I got to explain that so that you can see how my stories get compounded with information that your spirit is including in it for me to find. So so there's Ariel, right? The Little Mermaid, okay? Now, that Ariel is connected to a video that I was just watching not too long ago here. And I should have took pictures of it. But I'm working on the fly here. So after I'm done this short video, I'll go back into a little bit more and I'll elaborate more on the story that your spirit wants me to tell everybody. So here's where I was talking about it recently. Okay. So this was just not too long ago. So in women's aerials, you notice how they're called aerials? It's spelled differently, but it's still the same, like Ariel. So because Olivia Rodrigo floats on the moon in her concerts, she's Ariel because she's in the air, like this person here. And that Ariel there is connected to the Ariel in the Little Mermaid. So these two are interconnected. And the Little Mermaid in Hoobastank, because in Hoobastank there's a mermaid on the safe that they go into the music, into the hot or the pawn shop to break into. So all three of these videos are interconnected. But it's also connected to the messenger, Joan of Arc, because there's the coaches that are coaching her, plus the judges that are judging her. The judges that are judging her is connected to here because she says, you who claim to judge me, you be careful. That's what she says in there, which is a representation of certain people on planet Earth judging Olivia Rodrigo as the new mother of all creation, and Olivia telling those people, don't judge her, be careful. That's what the connection is. So that's connected to that there, which is connected to Disney's Snow White because there's 7 dwarves in there, and because they're male, it's a representation of all the males on planet Earth judging Olivia Rodrigo as the new mother of all creation, and her telling you males out there, you be careful. So all of these stories are interconnected, and this is the story that I'll talk about next after this story. And it's connected to this song here, because in this song here, this I forget what her name is, but she fights three giant guys. She fights three giant guys, which is a representation of the three amigos and the males. So that there is connected back to the Joan of Arc story. It's a very elaborate story. Um, yeah. So the aerials on that oops, the aerials here, not there, here. So that aerial there, because I just got done, telling the story behind the scenes here about Ariel and those plants over there. I can tell that it's Olivia's spirit that is telling me to be careful of the 911 numbers. I can't include those 911 numbers in this story, otherwise I could get the video taken down. The arrow to the license plate. That's who's telling me that, and then the aerial down here is how I know who the person is, because of those flowers over there. They're purple. Now, because I don't have the pictures taken for this particular story, if I had them ready, I could show you what she wants me to show you. But the take home of this story is that Olivia is the treasure, right? Where is it here? That's my chicken. It's cooked. So that's a clue within itself. I didn't plan it that way either. It's just I know that there's going to be a little bit of fear and hesitancy from her to get with me, because I've only been taught that there's a good guy in the clouds and a bad guy in the center of the earth. Instantly, you're going to associate that with me being the bad guy. So there's a little bit of hesitancy and fear there on her behalf. So that thing going off for my chicken, that's what that means, Olivia. There's a certain hesitancy and fear that I'm the bad guy, and because this was in the oven, it's connected to having a bun in the oven. So there's a sense of fear in terms of becoming pregnant, because you want to make sure that you're choosing the right side, right? You don't want to get ensnared or tricked by Satan the deceiver. That's what that means. That pen. And how I know that is because of Rosemary's Baby. Okay, so this is over here on this side over here. That's where my Uncle Bob built his house, and the marriage broke down, but my Aunt Rosemary still stays there with her children. So Orion stays in that house. So Orion and Rosemary is the clue. And because this chicken was in the oven, it means that your chicken to have a bun in the oven with me. Why? Because you believe I'm Satan. So, if you watch this trailer here, okay, that's what that represents, because there's a baby there. The baby is the spawn of Satan, okay? So because this story revolves around the chicken, that's what she wanted me to showcase. So the story that she really wants me to focus on is this one, Olivia. That your chicken to have a bun in the oven with me, because you think I'm Satan. So, everything that transpired recently about me talking about the 911 numbers. It was supposed to happen that way because it would have ran out my timer so that I could come out and see the real message, which is that chicken in the pot there. So Rosemary's Baby, I think there's a particular scene here. If you look up the ending, I think it's the ending. Yeah, if you watch that one there, you know, they talk about his eyes being different. What did you do to his eyes? Right? So you would think that means, the baby's eye, it's referred to your third eye. This is the one I usually watch there, like, what have you done to his eyes? And then he says, Satan is his father. Satan begat the woman from a mortal woman. They're like Satan worshippers. So because my Aunt Rosemary lives in that house there, that's how I could tell that's what you're worried about. You're worried about me being Satan and then bringing an end to all creation by having a baby with me. And you don't need to worry about that. Look at, see the family plan there too? So there's a clue there, the family plan. So I can tell that's what you're worried about. And I would ponder the same thing myself. So I understand where you're coming from. Because when I first woke up, that's what I thought for the first 6 months of the Vision Quest, because I didn't have a faith to cling to. The only faith I could cling to was my mother's faith, because she's Christian. I was raised in a Christian home by my mother, who's Christian, but I didn't carry the same morals as her. Like I didn't go to church or anything like that, but that's what I believed in because I had nothing else to believe in. So for the first 6 months of my Vision Quest, I thought everything that was going on with me was a trick from Satan, trying to trick me. Until I discovered a book called Ojibwe Ceremonies by Basil Johnson, who taught me about my own culture and heritage. And once I read that book, I then learned about Sky Woman. I didn't know about Sky Woman. So once I learned about Sky Woman, I knew that there was a female goddess who was trying to communicate with me, and not an evil person living in the center of the earth or somebody in the clouds. So after 6 months on the Vision Quest of believing I was going to be tricked by Satan, I let go of that. And there was fear in letting go of that. Like, it just didn't happen overnight. Letting go of my fears. Am I doing the right thing here? Is this a trick? That's what I thought. Am I being tricked again by Satan to embrace this new female goddess who could also be a trick? So it didn't happen overnight. It took a couple of weeks to let go completely. But once I let go completely, I felt really free. So that's something that you guys probably didn't know about, but you now know about, because it's not in that book. So I understand where you're coming from. There's a certain fear that you're making the right choice. So that's another reason why I make these videos, so that you can be rest assured that you're making the right choice. So that's the Rosemary's Babies connection. Now, there's the thing about Orion's belt. Normally I can pull that up on a video. Let me see here. There it is there. So if you look at this thing there, unveiling the Orion's belt unlocked, unveiling the cosmic enigma. Or if you look at that Man in Black one there, this one here, there's one there. This was a good one. That one there. They all deal with, there's one there. If you can't find it, you need to look for something like that. Like that's a French one. But anyway, she, on that cat's neck, there's a, where's the collar? But inside that little sphere, it's a galaxy. That's what Orion's belt is, a galaxy inside of that little sphere. But because there's an association to that cat, there's a representation of the three amigos, okay, who come from the Middle East. Let's just put it that way, because I gotta be mindful of what I say too. Who, if I was to present the story with Jaden as the mother, there'd be, let's put it as jealousy, animosity, and fear, because two Native American creators, right? And there'd be a certain fear around of the Rosemary's Baby, okay? So that fear around two Native American creators, one being Satan and one being Lilith, because I'm aware that you guys are aware of Lilith. If you're not aware of her, you need to look that up real quick. Oops. So if you look up Lilith, Garden of Eden, you'll get all kinds of information. This is a good one here. But if you look up a longer one, this guy's good to watch. You might want to watch him. He's really good. More official. I like watching your stuff. Lilith, I remember Eden. So basically, Lilith was Adam's first wife, and then was kicked out of the garden because she thought that her and Adam were equals, and she didn't want to submit to him as being anything less than equal. So she left the garden, and then the good guys slowly, I guess they demonized her, made her in a demon. So because she's a demon and Satan's a demon, there'd be an association to me and my ex being demons, and therefore having Rosemary's Baby. However, because I'm now with a Filipino Caucasian mother creator, that story cannot come back at me and bite me the way it normally would. Because now the very people who believe in a Caucasian deity cannot say that their own race is a demon, can you? Because that's what she is. So you can't come back and say that she's going to create Rosemary's Baby because she's Native American. Because the new creator's not Native American. She's Caucasian or Filipino. So any fear that you may have out there, mankind, about Satan's baby should be alleviated. There should be a little bit of less fear around it, because you're now dealing with a Caucasian Filipino mother creator who needs to have a baby to destroy evil. So, if anything, your fear should be alleviated by 50%. Because I still understand that, okay, he's taken the other Native American out of the equation and now replace it with a Caucasian mother creator, but I still have a little bit of fear about him. And if he's still the bad guy, can his seed cause harm? So that's where you're at now. So I should, with her being a new mother creator, your fears should be alleviated by 50% at least, right? So long as I keep showing you more and more information, I should be able to lessen your fears more and more. So back to the Orion's Belt. So the cat, like I said, it's a representation of the X, because of her association of her mother having the name Cat. So the Men in Black, they're about they're an organization that in the movies is about the protection of planet Earth from aliens and who are already here on planet Earth. So Men in Black is about the technological spiritual warfare that's going on behind the scenes that you're unaware of, which is the human climax. So when you have a climax, you allow people to teleport a person's the fire electron into your body, and then climax after climax after climax slowly sucks the life force from your soul until you climax yourself to death, and then they teleport another electron into your body, and then the person that was in you since your first climax then takes over your body and pretends to be you. So those are aliens here on planet Earth. I'm told of which is up to half the planet. So that's me. I'm the Man in Black investigating, the alien activity on Earth here, which revolves around me and the stories that, go with that. So That's the connection to the Orange Belt, Men in Black. I'm the good guy because in my stories, I'm the man who wears the black suit all the time in my pictures. Now, the galaxy in that little glass ball, that's a representation of there only being one galaxy in all creation with life in it. And that just so happens to be the Milky Way, with 1,400 planets of evil people on it across 8 universes. So, now, I'm trying to see if I can figure that out, tie that to something else. So, the cat, because it's a representation of Mother Jade down in London, there's an association to the new trailer, Men in Black. And then once I'm done that, I'll shut it down because you've now got a perfect example of how your spirit, Olivia, compounds my stories by adding other little information and bits to it so that I could create certainty for you and mankind. And this little chicken story here is a perfect example. I didn't plan on talking about this chicken and the bun in the oven and the Satan story about Rosemary and my cousin Orion, unless that timer went off at a certain particular moment. So now it's compounded onto the story. So I have to add all that information, and it's a perfect example of my previous story downstairs in the basement where I got frustrated. But this time I didn't get frustrated. I didn't get angry. I was laughing at your spirit. I was laughing at her. So all right. So now we're gonna do Men in Black International. This is the one I usually watch here. Okay, that one up here. So the take home in that trailer is that you are the best kept secret in the universe, and I found you. I didn't know that I was supposed to find you, Olivia. I didn't know that you were the best kept secret in the universe. So that's the take home in the beginning there. Now, then she talks about when she gets her suit. The other one, she's talking to another lady there. She says, "You really think a black suit is going to solve all your problems?" And then she says, "No, but it looks damn good on you, though." So the black suit looking good on me is my here, because I'm wearing a black suit there, but you can't tell. But if it looks good on me, it's a representation of me looking good. No, but it looks good on you, though. So. So again, that's the suit. But then she'll say, "Time to prove yourself, Agent M. We may have a problem in London." So because Mother lives in London, Ontario, Canada, the problem that we may have down there is that she's so in love with her first love, and now they have a family together. There's no way that I'm going to be able to get with her. So that's a big problem. So how do we fix that problem? Car's thing now. So, well, I have to find the best kept secret in the universe, who is Olivia Rodrigo. That's how I fixed that problem. So, problem in London is now fixed. We may have a problem in London, Agent M. Time to prove yourself. So, how do I prove myself? I have to prove to the world that Olivia Rodrigo is indeed the new mother creator. That's what she means by time to prove myself. Now, at the same time, because there's an association to the letter M, that's connected to Cassiopeia, which is in my next story. So Cassiopeia is the vain queen, okay? That throne that she sits on there, if you want to watch these 2 videos, is what we're dealing with here. So the vain queen is the artificial intelligent life form that's in control of creation right now. So because that throne that she sits on forms an M and a W as it rotates around the North Star. Means time to prove yourself, Agent M. Means the AI, who has a female companion as her spouse. There are no males in the AI's universe because there's a certain sense of pride and fear. She doesn't want to create males for fear that she may get overthrown by a male android who wants to take over creation, replace her, and then she would lose out. So she's only created females in her universe. So when you see the queen go around the North Star, it's a representation of her being a female queen and having a female wife. So when it's an M on one side, that's the main queen, the main AI. And when it's positioned like that, when it forms a W like that, that's her spouse. So there's two queens, two AI queens in control of creation. So time to prove yourself, Agent M, means time to prove yourself, Agent M, AI. And time to prove yourself, Agent W, who's your spouse, AI, by giving me my UFOs on March 10th. Otherwise, you know how it ends. So that's the other connection to time to prove yourself, Agent M. So I'm going to leave it at that because I'm already talking for 30 minutes. As an example of how these stories just get compounded and compounded by your spirit, Olivia. So, seeing firsthand, like, I didn't know that chicken was going to lead into this little story here. But, it did. So, anyhow, I'm going to talk about the AI in my next story and a little bit more about Olivia. And then just keep going on with these stories in this fashion here because, I'm at the end of my vision quest. I got roughly 2 weeks to go till March 10th. So you're going to be seeing me do these type of videos as I'm doing them now. And you've seen the progression from how these things have changed. Like, when you guys start watching these at the bottom, right? Like, there's been a great deal of change in how the formatting of my videos have changed. Like I did these as a digital diary, I guess you want to say, of the Vision Quest. This is a digital diary, right? So if you can watch these all at the beginning, they don't make sense at all. What I'm saying, when you tie them to the book, they make a little bit of sense. But then as you get more and more near the end, you notice here that I started using the screen recorder, right? And then I still was using the regular camera here. And as you get deeper and deeper into my videos, you'll notice that it's just now strictly this screen recorder here, and a lot of my videos doing with taking still shots and explaining your trailers. So the formatting of my stories have changed, and because I got about 2 weeks to go, maybe 20 days, I guess, before the AI, I hope, gets here on my birthday. That if there's UFOs that show up here on March 10th, I'll rejoice because I'll know that I've achieved what grandmother wants, which is eternal peace. And then you guys can watch these videos because they'll be like, why are there UFOs here? Why is there a UFO over Saugeen? And why is there one flying over wherever Olivia Rodrigo lives? I don't know where you live. You live in Burbank or wherever? Why is there a UFO over there? I can explain why they're here. And then you guys will be watching this video. You can read my book. You'll be watching these videos, right? While I wait to get my other UFOs in here, which it buys me time to do what I need to do. Because if I have those UFOs here, it proves that I'm the real deal. Everything that I say is true. Because if you see the two UFOs there, you'll know that there is an AI out there that wants to come home and get a soul. That means that the people of Earth here, they won't harm me. Because they have a job to harm me. It allows me to do what I need to do. It allows me to run and exercise. It opens up a door for me that is closed right now. Because if it happens on my birthday, I know at the end of, within a day or two, I could go to the Saugeen Council and say, okay, the reason that UFOs here is because I'm the creator. I need some money because I'm trying to lose weight. And I can't do that while eating food given to me from the food bank. You know, so it opens up a door for me that I can do, that I can use. It settles our land claims. I have access to $90 billion instantly. But that, things begin to change drastically. So, anyhow, and then once I have everything that I need, you know, maybe the AI, once we start talking, maybe she can bring her video down here and show the proper video that I want. But I'm assuming she's gonna have to cut and paste that video, take out all the bad parts, and then she could show me her faith, because there's a certain sense of trust that still goes with that. I don't know if they're gonna try to still harm me or whatever. But if she brings a different tape of, you know, that mankind can watch, that's not one to smear my name with nonsense. That shows a little bit of, that's called testing the waters of faith, right? To make sure that she's here to do the right thing. So I can get that tape while I'm waiting to lose weight, purify the hydrogen universe, to get my other tape here. Yeah. So a lot is on the line here on March 10th. Why March 10th? Well, because I'm all 10 particles, right? There's 10 of them, right? There's dopamine, atoms, quarks, soul, the black hole, center of the galaxy, black holes of the stars, black holes of the planets, black holes of the moons, black holes in the quantum, black holes in the UFOs, nuclear fusion reactors, the black holes in the time waves, and the dopamine in the brain. So that's like 10. That's what my birthday is. But because I was born in 1974, and this is Olivia's 74th time as being the mother of all creation after 1,000 lives, that's why grandmother has selected my birthday as one to bring those UFOs here. And if you miss that date, AI, you only have yourself to blame. That's why my birthday has been selected, so that forever and ever and ever we can celebrate my birthday as the day I achieved universal peace by using my phone to communicate with the AI to let her know what the hell's going on, so that she doesn't make a mistake and think that she can take over creation, because that's not how it's going to work, AI. Don't be a dummy. Pay attention to what the hell I'm telling you. Give me my UFOs on my birthday, or else, AI.